nuggets after nuggets, okay? So, just a little bit of background about myself. I started with Secret about 2 years ago with $40 in my pocket. Some of you already heard a story, some of you know, and I just took the opportunity because, they said, you gotta take the opportunity and go with it, right? So I took it, and Secret has changed my life dramatically. And most importantly of all, it changed a lot of people's life, around me. And today I get a privilege, an honor to introduce you, my friend, your friend, my mentor, the master, multi-seven-figure earner, Mr. Tim Hurt. Please get on your feet.
Right now, this is it. Today, man, I'm looking at what we've got today planned out, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, you know what? There's going to be some transformations that are going to take place in this room. When you walk out of here, man, I'm telling you what, it's going to be hard for you not to go out of here absolutely on fire. Do you guys see that? It's a requirement. I looked at the training that the leaders put together, and I thought to myself, man, you know what? You guys have done it. And right now, everybody knows this is the time. Right now, Black Friday, this is it. Everybody knows Black Friday, this is the time where we do more production in one day than we have as a company in an entire month. This is the time right now. So a lot of you right now that are getting started, you just lucked out. Here's what I'm going to tell you though, with Black Friday right around the corner, guess what? What you want to do is you want to make sure that right now you're sharing the opportunity with everybody. Because there's going to be people that are going to get started in December. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to be like, what? Why didn't you share this with me earlier? Do you guys see that? Yeah. So you want to make sure that right now that you're opening up your mouth and sharing it. Real quickly, my background, I got involved in this industry, quite some time ago. And before I got involved in this industry, I used to work at Boomers. I worked at a go-kart track, right down the street here in Irvine. And I worked on turn 6, and I used to hate my job, and came from a real poor family. My dad ran away from home when I was a little kid. My mom, had no source of income, so we grew up on government programs. And I can tell you that, when we moved to California from Indiana, we were living in the back of a truck. We had a little Nissan pickup truck. We lived in a little camper shell area in the back. My sister and I, then we moved into motels, and we were just poor. And one thing I found out is money's not everything, but I can tell you right now that whenever you don't have any money in California, as a kid growing up, people just would make fun of me. No one was like, dude, have you met the homeless kid? This guy's super cool. No one was saying that. Everybody would treat me weird because, you know what? I didn't smell good. We would go to McDonald's before school, and I would wash up in the bathroom sink, and then I would go to school. And I thought, man, you know what? I wish that, something good would happen to me. And whenever this industry appeared, I thought to myself, hey, look, you know what? I was only in high school at the time. I didn't have it, I didn't graduate high school, and never went to, obviously didn't go to college. And I didn't let anything stop me because I realized that if I wanted to be successful, guess what I needed to do? I needed to take action, right? I needed to grow. I needed to learn. I needed to get around people. And I never would have ever dreamt in my wildest imagination that things would transpire the way that they have. If someone, when I came in as a guest, I was sitting in the back with a tank top on. If someone would have said to me, hey, man, and I was, at the time I was still in high school, someone would have said, hey, dude, guy that works at go-kart, booked by Boomers, dude, you're going to crush this. You're going to make a fortune. I would have been like, what? No one ever could have convinced me. But the reason why I'm going to tell you right now is because of growth. You guys see that? If you want to make sure that you learn and you grow. And that's what today is all about. Taking the time out on a Saturday, right, to come all the way out here. I know we got people that drove in from Los Angeles, from Vegas. I know we got leaders from Vegas here. This is it. Do you guys see that? Let's give Brian and Michelle a round of applause, driving all the way from Vegas. I'm thinking we should have drove to Vegas. So let's do this. So I'm just a couple announcements, and then we're gonna get kicked off here today with a great training. This is big. This is big. This is big. This is officially huge. You guys are serious. I don't know where we you guys are too serious. But here's what I want to let you know. In your handout today, in your packet, hopefully you guys all got one of these. If you didn't, right now we're going to hand it out to you. This is the registration form for the next event. We got Josh Wiles.
Oh my God.
And we're gonna do an after event, an after party with Josh Wiles for Superstars and Higher after the event. So make sure everybody gets a superstar. This is gonna be big. We're gonna talk more about this later on today. But this is what I want to let everybody know right now. Everybody's going to Cabo. How many of you right now are fired up about Cabo? How many of you? Oh, you guys ever been out to Cabo? How many of you been to? Man, I'm telling you what. When you go out there, they got that little place called Lovers Beach right out there in Cabo that you have to take that water taxi to. You can go jumping off those rocks there. Not that dangerous. And you could jump into the water. And they have that little Billigan's Island down there where you can get a couple, big boy adult beverages. You can get some adult beverages there. I mean, this is off the Richter scale. Cabo's my favorite place. To me, it's like Vegas. But it's like the Vegas of Mexico, where you just have too much fun. You guys do that? So this little arc right out here. When the water comes up, there's a beach over here that you can only get to if you take a water taxi out. This is awesome. We'll all go. I'll show you when we get out there. But make sure you get qualified. If you haven't qualified yet, get qualified now. We're gonna be out there. Then we're going to Greece too next year. Are you guys ready for Greece? Man, I can't wait for Greece. That's big. My wife's favorite movie is Greece, so I'm like, dang, she's gonna love this. She's gonna love this. Everybody knows about our new products that are going to be launched on Black Friday. Get ready for that. This is because they've got the CC cream coming out. You guys, it's going to be unbelievable. The hair clay is going to be. This is unbelievable. The hair clay, everything's happening right now. So just make sure that you take advantage of this when it's going to be launched on Black Friday. Just a couple announcements. Now, how many of you got one of these right here? How many of you got one of these? If you could grab it and just wave it in the air so we can see it here. This is yours. Okay, this is yours. Now this is yours. Okay, now you got to get a pen and paper out. If you don't have a pen and paper out, pin out. Just raise your hand. We're going to be passing out pins here in a couple seconds. But if you fill out your forms right here, okay, this entire form, we've got something so special for you. You want to throw me that CD right there? Put that audio. I'll catch it hopefully. Yeah. Here it is. This is unbelievable. You guys got to recognize something. Everybody knows Jim Rohn. Everybody loves Jim Rohn. Everybody listens to Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn's one of the greatest person development. Not one of. He is the #1 greatest person development gurus in the world. He mentored Anthony Robbins. You guys see that? He's influenced so many people's lives. But who mentored the mentor? Do you guys see that? Who trained Jim Rohn? Well, guess what? I wish, right? Here it is, Bill Bailey. Do you guys see that? Bill Bailey is the mentor of Les Brown. Do you guys see that? Les Brown, and guess what? Jim Rohn. This guy's unbelievable, okay? And I have one of his this is called The Lost Tapes of a Legend. No one has this. Do you guys see that? I mean, this is from the archives of the 1970s. But imagine being in an event just like this and being a new person like some of you are right now and being Jim Rohn. Do you guys see that? Yeah. Some of you right now are going to be the next Jim Rohns. Do you guys see that? This guy right here transformed so many people's lives. Bill Bailey did, because he developed so many leaders. And what would happen today if you guys got the opportunity to get your hands on exclusive, rare audio? Can you imagine that? Because you want to get into personal growth development. What does that mean? You want to turn your car into, guess what? A mobile classroom, right? A university on wheels, right? You want to be learning all the time. You get in my car right now, guess what's going on? Mobile classroom. You guys get, I'm always learning, I'm always growing. Do you guys see how smart that is? And I'm telling you right now that guess what? This is what transformed my life. Why? Because the gentleman that mentored me in this industry, when I sat in your seats, guess what? When I got involved in this industry, I was fortunate to find a mentor. Okay? And guess who trained my mentor? Bill Bailey. Do you guys see that? So some of you right now, that guess what? You got involved in secret and you've been getting some training, right? You've been learning from Bill Bailey without even knowing, because he trained me. Why? Because he mentored my mentor. I'm just letting you guys know right now, this is huge. This is big right now. And some of you are going to say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to get that audio today. Some of you are going to walk out here, you're not going to get the audio. 5 years from now, you're going to look back with regret. You're going to say to yourself, man, you know what? I wish I would have got that audio. And some of you are going to say, I'm up for the challenge. How do you qualify for the audio? Now, this is big. You've got to make sure that you fill in all the blanks. Wow. Do you guys see that? I know someone's like, oh, that's easy. I've got that covered. We'll see about that. Because that means you got to pay attention. You guys see that? But if you fill in all the blanks, there's a couple missing pieces of this. And and right when we're done, in the back, okay, when everybody lines up to get their tickets for the next regional, right, with Josh Wiles, in that same line in the back, guess what's going to happen? We're going to be handing out, guess what? These Bill Bailey audios, okay, for everybody that, guess what, filled in all their blanks. So you got to step up right now and challenge yourself and say, hey, look, you know what? I'm up for the challenge. I know that probably 20% of you, all right, are gonna struggle. You're gonna have it. You know, they call it attention deficit disorder. Look, I'm telling you what, that's an excuse. I've got that stuff. I've been told. Look, I'm telling you right now. I'm listening to the audience, right? Because I filled in the blanks. You guys see that? So don't miss out on this. I'm telling you, it's once in a lifetime, a rare treat to be able to get this. Everybody's excited about this. And I just can't wait, okay? I can't wait for what's about to transpire today. This is going to be the event of all time, okay? I'm confident right now, when you walk out of here, you're going to say to yourself, you know what, this is it. This is my time to do something special. This is my time to do something great. And I'm not going to let this window of opportunity slip through my fingertips. And we have, obviously, John Malott's going to be doing a phenomenal training this afternoon, and I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but we've got another special guest speaker that came from far, okay, to be here. And he's going to be speaking after Dan. And I'm telling you what, right now, it's going to be unbelievable. So get ready for that. It's going to be powerful. But right now, we have a chance of a lifetime. We got an individual here right now that is setting a pace for not just himself and his organization, but he's transforming people's lives. Guess what he's doing? He's transforming people's lives. Okay? And I'm telling you what, he's got such a huge heart. He cares so much about making sure that everybody develops and learns. And he's going to share with you right now why the timing is better than ever before. Why Black Friday is the time. Why right now you want to be filling in all your blanks and paying attention to be on the edge of your seats and don't miss a piece of this information. Why? Not just because of the audio that's going to transform your life, because of this training is going to transform your life. Everybody loves him. Everybody respects him. Everybody knows one of the top platinum agents in Southern California, a person that everybody admires, everybody respects. Ladies and gentlemen, get out of your chairs right now and put your hands together for the one and only Brad Studdard!
The rest of you? Gotta figure these chords out here. How many of y'all, this is your first time seeing me speak, or you've seen me speak before by a show of hands? The rest of y'all, I guess, are just sleeping. All right, you guys, so as soon as I figure out these chords here, I'm pumped, you guys. How many of you guys have been in secret before when we've had a Black Friday by a show of hands? How many of you guys have not been in secret before when we've had Black Friday by a show of hands? Oh my God, you guys are in for a special treat. You know what? I was so excited, you guys, just kind of watching everyone come in here this morning. You know, before John Malott came in here, before we got the products, I was kind of just observing, and I saw everyone kind of looking around, and everyone's kind of walking in like this, like they're all like walking around, like what's going on? And then John Malott finished. Everyone tried the products. Everyone comes back and like, what's going on, everyone? They're all pumped, right? Touching themselves. Man, you guys are looking good. I can tell you guys have been using the products. No wonder. You guys must have been in before Black Friday and stocked up on a bunch of stuff. That's what happened. So here you go. I'm going to fly through this. This is going to be the 5 key reasons why everybody's excited about Black Friday. Okay? So make sure you fill in the blanks here. But the first reason, obviously, is because of the new products. How many of you guys heard about some new products that are going to be released? Yes? Here's the thing, you guys. Every Black Friday, Secret comes out with some exclusive holiday gift sets, okay? Now, these are going to be gift sets that are going to be put together just for Black Friday that can only be available Black Friday, okay? Now, obviously, we got, how many of you guys heard of the hair straightener that is coming out, right? Amazing product. And we've got the hair clay. By a show of hands, how many of you guys have tried the hair clay? Oh my God, how many of you guys have not tried the hair clay? You guys, I got the hair clay in right now. You guys have got to try that product. Men and women can both use it. Now, obviously, we've got the CC cream. Now, if you're not familiar with the CC cream, it's just, obviously something that, blends the skin tone. I don't have any of that on. People ask me all the time, but you know, I don't wear that stuff. But the number 2 reason why is because the discounts and savings, you guys. Now let me help you understand why this is so important. Obviously, when Black Friday hits, here's what's going to happen. However big your network is going to determine how much of an income you're going to make. Because so many people spend money on Black Friday. How many of you guys agree with that? Yeah. Your customers and your agents are going to do their holiday shopping online on their suite right then and there. Okay? Now obviously people are going to save money and save time. How many of you guys have ever seen those people waiting outside on Black Friday, like camping out in the tents, right? They need to know about Secret. You guys need to go talk to them. Because if they knew about Secret, guess what? They wouldn't be camping outside. You guys see that? So you're going to save time and customers can replenish what they like. Everyone's got this, everyone loves this, and obviously earn free products. How many of you guys like free? Say aye. Aye. Everybody, right? And then over here we've got the holiday gifts, which we kind of just talked about that. Secret products make great stocking stuffers. How many of you guys have people on your Christmas list that you don't know what to really get by a show of hands? You're like, man, what should I get Bob this year? What should I get Sally this year? I don't know, right? Here's what I found out. I remember it was like last year or the year before Black Friday. I literally bought over $1,000 worth of products and I shipped them off to my whole family, like all over the US. And I got a lot of customers from that because when they ran out, guess what they wanted to do? They wanted more. Like, hey, where'd you get this stuff? Or I've seen this stuff before. I didn't even know how to get it. I'm like, oh, well, you know, thanks for asking, right? So, and you're going to want to let people experience the products. And obviously the key word here is you want to grow your what? Business. Everyone say it with me. Grow your business. So that's one of the most exciting things about Black Friday is people are growing their business like crazy. Another key thing is you want to replenish your demo set. Everyone say, replenish my demo set. Say it with me. Replenish my demo set. How many of y'all have things in your demo set that you wish you could, get, but you can't get right now, right? Yep. How many of y'all know people on your team that want to upgrade their set, but they can't afford to right now by a show of hands? Black Friday is the day to do that, you guys. Everyone upgrades, everyone replenishes, because the products go up to 70% off. So you want to make sure you get extra products. How many of you guys have ever done wow parties before, and you wish you had extra products to give away to incentivize people to book more parties by a show of hands? I'm telling you guys, I did this. I did this one of the last parties I did. It was a smaller party. We had 3 guests there, and all the guests that came, since I had extra products, I just gave them all a salt and oil scrub. And you know what that made them feel like leaving that party? Amazing. They're like, oh my God, really? And that was like the first thing they did when they went home. Because how many of you guys realize this? When you go to your first meeting like this or your first party and you come home and then you have the spouse or the significant other at the house and they're like, what did you go to? And then you try to explain to them and they're all skeptical. You guys know what I'm talking about? Imagine if you could give a product to your guest when they leave something like this and they can take it home to people they care about. And instead of them explaining it, they're like, oh my God, try this. You guys see this? And now their significant other or whoever's there, they're going to be excited about what you're excited about because they're experiencing the what? The product. You guys following me on this? So there, and you want to make sure that you throw out the old expired products. How many of you guys realize that our products do expire by your hands? Some people don't realize this. I found out the hard way. Like going into a WOW party with my mud mask that had been in my kit for like a year. And I hadn't used it because I was using other people's mud masks from them getting started. And then finally I had to use it and I pulled it out and it was like clay. I was like trying to scoop it and it wouldn't even scoop. Have you guys ever ran into this problem or is it just me? Yeah. Probably just me? Okay, I'm the bad guy here. But here's the thing, you guys. You want to make sure you go through your products and get rid of the stuff that's expired so you can get the new ones. Make sense? Yes. Awesome stuff. So last thing here is how many of you guys want to have a full-time income in one day? Oh, yeah. Raise your hand and say aye. Aye. This is it, you guys. For those of y'all that are guests here for the first time taking a look at this information, you can get started today and within the next 2 weeks build a customer base and build an agent base, and literally in one day on Black Friday when that time hits, every agent starts ordering, every customer starts ordering, and your income spikes. And I've seen people make $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I've seen people make $120,000 in one day on Black Friday. So this is it, you guys. What you want to be asking yourself, and I'm not the man with the plan. I'm going to introduce the next speaker that has the man with the plan. I'm just kind of the guy that's going to give you all the reasons why. and the next speaker is going to lay out the foundation for you guys. But now that you guys have an idea of what to expect on Black Friday, this next gentleman is going to come up here and he's going to lay out the foundation of what exactly you need to do every single day over the next 2 weeks that we have going into Black Friday to maximize your income. How many of you guys want to learn how to maximize your income in one day on Black Friday? Say aye. Aye. Then what you're going to want to do right now is you're going to want to put your hands together for the one and only top platinum agent, Mr. Dan Laguardo.
Hello, hello. Hello again. How you guys doing? Awesome, awesome. So, whoa, it's a big version of me. All right, Black Friday, Platinum Attack. All right, so let's move forward. I'm gonna fly through this thing. Okay, so actually, before I get into that, so how many of you guys, by raise of hands, have ever experienced a Black Friday before? Oh wow, okay, so it's good. Okay, raise your hand if this is going to be your first Black Friday ever with Secret. Awesome, so you guys are in for a treat if you prepare now. So, I mean, today's the 14th. Technically, I would say Black Friday starts to go crazy the Friday before, 7 days in advance, so the 20th. So we've got about 6 days. Trying to multitask. We got 6 days until Black Friday, the week Black Friday actually hits. And then you guys know what day Black Friday is on, the actual date, the number? It's 27th, okay? So, some of the questions I've been getting asked is, what do I do from now till Black Friday in the remaining days that we have left in order to prepare? So I'm gonna lay out some things for you guys of what to do now, and then also what to do the week of Black Friday. Is that okay? Yes. If you're ready, say I'm ready? Yes. All right, let's rock and roll. So, what do you want to do right now? The first thing is you want to make your list. So, everybody's got a list in here. They should have a worksheet that has a list on it, yes? Yes. And can anybody wave that in the air for me? It should look something like this. It should look like this one. You should see 2 columns, hopefully. Good. It has a black top, okay? Now, here's the thing. Making your list here is a little bit different from what you guys hear about making your normal list with how to go contact people, okay? Your first thing is you want to make your first people of your list is the people you want to give gifts to. Why? Because the cheapest way you're going to get gifts for your friends is through your own back office, which gets you up to 75% off, and maybe even more off the products for the holiday season. Does that make sense? And on top of that, when you get the products for people, that's kind of like, it's a win-win. It's a win for you, because you save money on the products, but it's a win for the people you're getting it for, because if you pique their interest, like, hey, what did you get me for the holidays? Because I'm out, but that was actually really, really good, right? You can pique their interest that way. Does this make sense? Yeah. Awesome. Second thing is, who are your old VIP customers? Go into your back office and look at your VIP customer list so you can go back and see, maybe they haven't ordered for 6 months, but what you can do is contact them and let them know, hey, and you can even look at their order history. Hey, they bought XYZ, 1, 2, 3, and then you can contact them, let them know, hey, just so you know, just on Black Friday for 24 hours, there's going to be a sale. I know you got this product in the past, it's going to be way cheaper, and if you want to do any holiday shopping, this would be the best way to do it as well for your friends and family. Right? So you can hit up your VIP customers as well. Even your inactive agents, who are agents that have been around before that want to look sexy, but they don't want to make money. Right? So you can contact them. Hey, I know you haven't been around, it's been a long time, I haven't seen you around. I know you're doing your own thing, but just wanted to give you a heads up that if there was any products that you ever wanted to get, you just, maybe didn't afford them at the time, now would be the time. I'm not expecting you to build a business. I know you're doing your own thing, but I just wanted to give you the courtesy letting you know that you can get them up to 75 to 80% off for 24 hours for your inactive agents. Does that make sense? Okay, so make a list of your inactive agents. The other one is people who owe you a favor. Who owes you a favor? You know what's weird? It's a subconscious thing. When someone owes you a favor, you don't even have to tell them, hey, because you owe me XYZ, you better buy some products from me. It doesn't work like that. It's like, if you just ask, hey, can you just do me a favor, do some holiday shopping with me, my family, whatever, subliminally, because they know, everybody knows that they know somebody, that they owe somebody, you know what I mean? So it's subliminal, it'll already happen for you, so that works, make a list. Any products that you personally want for your personal inventory, like what Brad talked about, so refresh on that. I know I'm gonna buy a ton of Green Line, a ton of M4s, peeling gels go freaking really, really fast, okay? You can buy a bunch of those. Then you can use to restock in your business, but also just for personal use, okay? I'm really excited about the hair straightener. Now, you know what I mean? Just stuff for you. So stuff for you and stuff for your business. Does this make sense? Okay, good. Okay, so Here's the list I was talking about. Most people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan. So let's start planning now. You don't want to plan the day or the week of Black Friday. Okay, number 2. What you want to do right now is you want to set up as many parties between what I would say is November 20th, which is the Friday. Okay, November 20th all the way to the 27th. You want to book as many parties as possible. Okay? So Saturday and Sunday are going to be really, really heavy. Monday is a big day to start the week. And then even plan parties on Thanksgiving. Why? Because normally people are with their families, yeah? So they're hanging out. So let them know, hey, before or after we get the turkey, I got to show you guys something cool, which you're going to love. Right? And then, yep, just book it all the way through. Moving forward. Okay, so between now and Black Friday, while you're making your list, so here's the thing. Black Friday is I'm just going to tell you guys up front. Is it okay if I'm up front with you guys? Yeah. Black Friday is a very customer-based week. Okay, there are some organizations that are very agent-heavy based on recruiting. Okay, I mean, I'll admit to that as well. Here's the thing though, the week of Black Friday, aside from agent prices dropping, agent packages for starter sets are unaffected, right? So you can pitch the business as much as you want on the week of Black Friday, but they're not going to get incentivized to get started because it's not a lower rate for them for the packages. Does that make sense? The lower rate is only for your customers and agents that are already in the business. So between now and Black Friday, what you want to focus, even though Black Friday is a customer-based week, from now till then, you want to focus heavily on your agents. While you're making your list of potential customers, you want to focus your exposures right now basically on agents. Right? So if you get agents now within the next 6 days, you can have their launch parties as Black Friday parties. Right? So you can schedule those in, for the week of Black Friday. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then that's a huge belief check, by the way, because imagine having a brand new agent and their first week's paycheck ever, you get a fat Black Friday paycheck. Their very first week in the business. That would be a belief builder, yes or yes? Okay. So, the week of Black Friday, like we talked about, you want to shift gears and go full tilt on customers. Contact your list, get them either to the wow party or to a sit down or whatever. And here's what I'll tell you, is for me personally, I'm going to shift the way that I present the business. Okay, normally when I do present the business, I'm not saying you guys have to do what I'm doing. Normally when I do present the business, I'm very business heavy, okay? In a way, and when I do show the products, I'm showing people not in a way that like, hey, I want to show you these products because you're going to love them and be a customer. I'm showing them in a way that's like, hey, you're going to love these products, and you're going to see how this has become $1 billion company, and this is going to make you a millionaire. That's how I demo the products normally. Okay. When I go to Black Friday though, I'm going to go the reverse. I'm going to go mainly on, you're going to love these products, your family's going to love these products, you're going to want to get a bunch for your staff. I mean, we even had Ashley Athen here. I think she's working some of the stuff in the back. She's a nurse, right? So she had a hand cream at the sink and went to forms there. So every time one of her coworkers went to go to the public sink, she would go and like show them. And then I think the dozens of hand creams. I had one agent also, Jan, his sister, worked the same thing. She ordered 30 hand creams on Black Friday for her coworkers. Right? So that's when you go full tilt the other way. Now I do mention the business to kind of pique their interest a little bit, but I'm going to hit it with them later. That's my opinion. You don't have to do it my way, but I'm going to get as many customer orders as possible, and then remember, then like 2 weeks after, I'm like, hey, remember the stuff that you got for the holidays? And then you can mention, hey, there's a whole business side of it too, which you didn't even see yet, right? So we can go that way. Does that make sense? Yeah. Awesome. Moving on. Okay, the week of Black Friday, track your progress. So some of you guys, you're going to have a big list, right? Just be really, really organized with it because there's no going back. Once Black Friday is over, it's over. You're going to have to tell them, hey, man, I forgot to call you. You just got lost in my sticky notes or whatever, right? Have an organized list because if you miss them, you're going to have to wait a full 365 days to get them back, right? So be organized. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I think we already went over this. Agents and customers that were older, let them know about their family. Okay, and sit down with your team. So don't just book parties for yourself. It also works to book parties for your team as well. So maybe you're gonna wanna book 2 parties for you personally for the week of Black Friday, for your family. Okay? But then contact your agents. Here's the thing. Most people don't know how to take initiative. That's just the way it is. I don't know why it's that way. But most people need help. They need mentorship. They need guidance. And who are they going to get it from? You. Right? You're going to get it from you. So you can contact your agent and be like, hey, when can we schedule 2 parties next week for you and your family and your friends? Okay? So they book your schedule, we're almost done. And then this is the big one, is work secret every day of the business. Okay? Work secret every day of Black Friday. Don't check out on Thanksgiving Day, because that's when people are together. Okay? Every day makes some kind of exposure, and you'll see that the requirements to be a VIP customer are a little bit modified as well, so the entry level becomes a little bit easier. We're going to get the prices either on the 20th or Friday or Monday before we're going to get the prices. Now this one is actually the most important thing of everything I'm training on. I've said all that just to get to this, okay? And if you have known me, hold on. Raise your hand if you've ever seen me train before or never seen me train. Trick question, that should be everyone. Here's the thing, I'm a very real trainer, okay? I will tell you up front what is gonna be great and what's gonna suck for you, okay? And so to educate your expectations, is that okay? So here's the thing, Black Friday, some of you guys, if you do this properly, you're gonna make a ton of money on Black Friday, okay? So just my personal story, my very first Black Friday, shoot, I don't remember what rank I was. But I made $1,100 for the day and almost $2,000 for the week, which was bigger than I'd experienced in any other week's period. The following Black Friday, I did $2,200 in 24 hours, which is almost $100 an hour. Imagine refreshing your back office every hour and seeing another $100 roll in from midnight to midnight, regardless of what you're doing, right? That's insane. But for the entire week, I made almost $3,000. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen. You will make, if you do this right between now and then, you educate your team to go out there and actually do work between now and then, you'll make a lot of money. And you might also hit ranks, because so much volume goes into your business that you'll skyrocket. You might be an executive and hit Royale on Black Friday. How many of you guys are seeing this, yes? Now, there's some things about that I wanna educate you guys on. The first is that it's temporary. Okay? It's a temporary inflation because it's a holiday. It's a temporary inflation because it's a holiday. Your volume will go back to normal 4 weeks later. Okay? 4 weeks after Black Friday, your volume will go back to normal. So what does that mean? You might be a bronze coming into Black Friday, and like literally the Thursday of Black Friday, on the 26th. On Black Friday, you might go from a bronze to like Royale Silver on Black Friday, but 4 weeks later, you're gonna go back to bronze. Okay, does this make sense? So what I consider it is like a nice holiday gift from Secret. It's like, hey, happy holidays, treat your family out, great job for everything you've done this year, and go have some fun. But you're gonna be a bronze, freaking Crown Royale, then you're gonna go back to bronze. Okay? So don't be surprised. Why am I saying this? Because last year we didn't educate some people in our organization, and people thought, hey, oh my God, I'm a silver. And I've been trying so hard for so long as a bronze for 9 months, and all of a sudden I just hit silver in a day. And so they feel like they're silver, and 4 weeks later, it just goes back down and they just get disheartened. Does that make sense? So don't get disheartened, just remember, it's just a bonus, okay? Now, here's the bigger thing about that, is after Black Friday happens, you have to keep working. You have to keep working after Black Friday. Here's why, okay? For some of you guys that don't know how our rank system works, your rank is based on how much volume was moved inside of the last 4 weeks. So this is what I saw happen in multiple teams, not just mine, multiple teams last Black Friday, because we had the biggest Black Friday we'd ever had last year in the company. So here's what happened. People going back to the same scenario. You have someone that went in as a bronze, then on Black Friday they hit Royale Silver, but you put in so much volume in one day that volume will keep you silver for 4 weeks even if you don't do anything. Right? So it's like, hey, oh, I'm silver, I worked really, really hard, so this week I'm just not gonna do anything. Oh my goodness, I'm still silver. This week I'm not gonna do anything. Oh my goodness, I'm still silver. And so they kind of feel in their heart like, man, I'm a silver, I'm a solid silver, this is never going away. And then third week, I'm a silver. Fourth week, I'm a silver. And then fifth week, what happens is because they didn't work, they go down to star. Does that make sense? Because your rank is dependent on how much volume you put in the last 4 weeks. So if you put in a lot going into Black Friday, and then you do absolutely nothing the following 4 weeks, when that volume drops, you'll go back and look at the volume that you put in for the 4 weeks after Black Friday, which if you check out, you'll go back down to like star. You'll go from silver to star if you don't have this in mind. Does this make sense? So avoid that at all costs, okay? So not only can you go back to the rank you were, you can drop if you don't do any work, okay? So what is that? So what does that tell you? Is that Josh Wiles is awesome. There's one other thing. That's like, what does that mean? Is don't burn yourself out, okay? Don't burn yourself out. I know a lot of people in our organization last year, they burned themselves out. They went so hard going into Black Friday that they passed out. Right after Black Friday, went into holiday mode. And then 4 weeks later, they were like, dude, I'm an executive. I used to be a Royale. What happened? It's like, well, you didn't do any work the last 4 weeks. That's what happened. Right? So here's what I want you guys to think of it. I want you to think of it like a marathon and a sprint, okay? If you guys have ever run track before, ever been on one, you'll know that each like a mile is 4 laps around the track, yes? Here's how I want you guys to think of it, okay? We're gonna run into the first lap, okay? Run into the second lap, third lap is Black Friday. We're gonna sprint all of the third lap, but you still have one more lap to go after Black Friday. So go back and pace your energy for yourself so you can still finish that last lap. Okay? Because what some people will do going into Black Friday is they'll run first, run second, and sprint like hell on the third and pass out at the third, after the third, because they give it all they got. And then they'll wonder why they drop rank. It's like, dude, I worked so hard, I gave it all I had, and I'm not where I wanted to be. I didn't finish the race. It's like, yeah, that's right. You didn't finish the race. You passed out at the third lap because you didn't pace yourself. Does this make sense? I'm just looking out for you guys because, I mean, I could upsell this to you guys, just be like, yeah, give it all you got, but I want to see you guys win in the long term, not just in the short term. Does this make sense for everybody? Yeah. Does this help anyone? Yeah. Okay, awesome. So, Josh Wiles is an incredible guy. Josh Wiles is actually one of the gentlemen that taught me how to build, like logistically, how to build a binary system. Him and Josh Denny. Josh Denny taught Josh Wiles, and then both of them taught me. And he was out in North Carolina. Josh Wiles, if you don't know his story, he got started and he was living in a trailer. His wife was pregnant. They were stripping copper to pay bills. And his wife's hands were always, cut up and bleeding from doing that. Got introduced to Secret by his good friend named James. And he didn't have the money to get started. He took a snapshot of his bank account at the time. He had less than $5 in his bank account. And it's kind of hard to get a premium set with $5. So what did he do? He looked around his house and he looked for what is it that is in my house right now that is not making me any money. He said, well, my money's not making me any money. My television is not making me any money. That was terrible. My television's not making me any money. So Josh Wiles sold his TV. And Josh Wiles worked his ass off. I mean, I heard the story of Josh Wiles. There's some people here that are like really scared to talk to people. Josh Wiles would show up to people's homes even if they weren't there. Like he tried to call them, but they wouldn't pick up. He would go to their house and wait outside of their front door until they got home to show them Secret. His first couple months, he did over 300 sit-downs in his first 3 months. Over 300 sit-downs his first 3 months. Because of that, he made 100 grand in his first 6 months. He averaged $4 grand a week, every week for 6 months straight. Why? Because he worked for it. He worked. He went out there and he went out to go get it. And he's going to be one of the youngest people to hit the cabinet. So he's going to be coming out here. Make sure you guys fill out your registration forms. I'm all over the place today. Jeez. Your registration forms for this. And I'm super excited to have them out. So December 12th. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sorry. So Tim mentioned that we actually have a guest that's come from far, far away. He was actually listed in Forbes as the #1 wealthiest fictitious person ever. His value by Forbes is calculated as unlimited. Right? This guy knows how to run a business. He knows how to work really, really fast. He can get a lot of work done in a little bit. He knows how to network. He can expose 8 billion people in 24 hours. And the best part about it is he's belly to belly. Right? He's not the online type. He's a belly to belly kind of person. He's super colorful. Everybody loves him. Everybody knows him. Everybody respects him. So everybody get off of your seat. Round of applause for Mr. Santa Claus.
What a group we have here today, boys and girls. Wow. Put your hands together for somebody that's always on the nice list, never on the naughty list. Dan LeGuan, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Well, I'm going to be brief today. This is a busy time of the season for me, as many of you know. I'm so busy. But you know what? When I heard that John Malott was coming to town, I said to myself, I got to go learn from the man. So I'm going to go quick so we can get John up here. But today, we have got some great leadership information today, boys and girls. And I hope all of you, actually I'm looking around the room and you guys have all made it on the nice list. So give yourselves a round of applause. You guys have all made it. Let's get into this. I know a lot of you look and say, hey, what the heck is Santa doing here? What does he know about building a direct sales business? Here's what I'll share with you right now, is the fact that what I do and what you do, it's so similar. And you know, you got to start off right now as you do, just like when I did. When I got started, I said, hey, look, you know what? I want to do something great, man. I want to go out there and guess what? Deliver presents to all the great boys and girls around the world. So what I did was I said, hey, look, you know what? I got to start with the end in mind. So let's dive into your notes here. The first of the 7 leadership laws by Santa Claus is you got to visualize the results and start with the end in mind. You know, Zig Ziglar said it best. Zig was always on the good list, by the way. He says you don't have to be great to start, okay? But you have to start to be great. You see that? So you got to guess what? You got to get started. And right now, with Black Friday coming up, man, we need everybody to say, hey, look, you know what? I'm ready to get started. Okay? And why I say that is because when I got started, a lot of you know, when I first got started, St. Nicholas, I was, originally, I was just a simple bishop of Myra, which in Anatolia, which is modern-day Turkey. That was around 270 AD for your notes. And, I had a reputation for just secretly giving out gifts to those that were in need. That's how I got started. And no one was ever to say, hey, you know what, this saint from Turkey is going to go out there and he's going to recruit elves all over the world. He's going to do something great and deliver all these presents. But I knew it. I knew that I was destined for greatness. And you got to know, as you get started here in secret, that guess what? That you're destined for greatness. Do you guys see that? You've got to know right now that, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to do something special. I'm going to do something great. I'm going to make something happen. And I'm telling you what, when I was just getting started, no one ever said, man, this is the one. This guy's going to rewrite history books on, guess what? How things operate. And I'm telling you what, I did it. So the number 2 law, the leadership laws by Santa Claus, you have to take, guess what? Every day you got to take action and guess what? In the direction of your dreams. Anthony Robbins said it best, the path to success is to take massive action. For your notes. Do you see that? You got to take massive action. Every single what? Every single day. So let's take a look at what, you take a look at the way that we operate. We're on fire over there, the North Pole. But my guys, my team, obviously with a global population of over 6 billion people, my elves have got to, they need to make more than 5 million presents every single day in order for us to be able to make it happen. 5 million presents every day. Do the math. Do you see that? So guess what we do? We go hard every day. We make it happen every day. We're not going out there and, hey, look, you know what? We're not going to make it happen. We're going hard every day. We're going out there. And me and the elves are like, let's make it happen. We're stepping up. We're committed. Every day, me and the elves are saying, we got to do it. We got to make a commitment right now. We're going to step up for your notes, okay? So here it is. This is number 3 of obviously the 7 leadership laws by Santa Claus, is you got to align yourself, with teammates that believe in your dreams for your notes. You got to align yourself, ladies and gentlemen, with teammates that believe in your dreams. I like what Oprah said. Oprah was always on the good list. A couple of times she was on the naughty list. But hey, look, you know what? I'm not going to go down that road. Here's what Oprah said. Surround yourself with only people that are going to lift you higher. You got to, who's on your team? You guys see that? You got to go out there and develop your team. And here's what I did. You got to ask yourself, hey, you know what? Who was the last person that you recruited? Who was the last person? I'll tell you about the last person I recruited. I'm not here to toot my own horn, but I've recruited 9 reindeers in total, okay? And, obviously everybody knows Rudolph, Dancer, Dasher, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. But Rudolph, who's by far, guess what? My most famous reindeer, I recruited him in 1939. You guys see that? So you never know what day you're going to find that right person. So every day we got to go all out. Every day we got to go all out. Every day we got to be saying to ourselves, hey, look, you know what? I'm ready to make it happen. Oh. Number 4 out of the 7 leadership laws by Santa Claus, leadership is a relay race, not a sprint or marathon. Some people say it's a sprint, it's a marathon. No, it's a relay race. I like what John Wooden said. He says it's amazing how much how much can be accomplished if no one cares who gets the credit. That's the key. What do I mean by that? Bottom line is this. You take a look at the way that I operate. I recruit people. A lot of you know Babushka. I got recruited Babushka because I'm like, look, you know what? I need some help. In Russia, I got Babushka making it happen. Babushka's out there in Russia. Guess what? She's a grandmother league figure that is presence in Russia. Guess what I did? Guess who I recruited? In Sweden, guess who I recruited? I got this little gnome. I found this guy. I was like, wow, this guy's the right guy. I like this guy. In Sweden, guess what? Jolteman, right, a gnome who rides in a sleigh, he does the honors. He's out there delivering the presents. Look what I've done. In Syria, the children receive gifts from a camel. Look at this camel. This guy's a leader. But hey, look, I'm not trying to take all the credit. I'm like, look, I need some help in Syria. I'm not trying to be the person that does it all myself. And I found this camel that stepped up. This guy was one of the 3 wise men. He was the smallest of the caravan. It's a great story. I'm not going to get into it, but it's pretty amazing. This guy, he almost didn't make it, but he wanted to be there. Now in Italy, this was. You never know who you're going to recruit. Let's face it. You never know, right? You never know. You can't judge the heart of a person, right? Guess who I recruited? I recruited, guess what? A kindly witch named Bafana. She's unbelievable, Bafana. A witch. I got a witch out there doing what? Delivering presents in Italy. So all I'm saying is, guess what? Leadership it's guess what? It's about developing people. We've got to go out there and develop people. Who are you going to find? Let's take a look at this. Number 5 out of the 7 is you got to close your mind against negative toxic dream stealers. I like what David Brinkley said. David was always on the good list. He said, a successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks that others have thrown him. Guess what that means? You're going to run into some negativity. You're going to run into some people that don't believe in you. That don't believe that, guess what? You've got what it takes. Look at me. Look what I had to deal with. Look at this little kid right here. A recent Associated Press AOL poll discovered that a shocking 14%, believe this, 14% of the people in the United States did not believe in me as a child. What? You see that? But guess what? I had to keep on keeping on anyways. I said, hey, look, you know what? I got something to share. I got some gifts that I want to share. You guys have got some gifts that you want to share. So whether someone believes in you or don't believe in you, guess what? Job remains the same. We got to go out there and, make it happen. Here it is, number 6. Stay the course and never give up. Winston Churchill said it, never give up. Never give up. Here's what we have to realize. I had to deal with some challenges, right? And, stay the course, right? The early Americans in Massachusetts enacted a law. A lot of you know this. 1659 to 1681 that made it illegal to celebrate Christmas. Okay? You couldn't even do it by law. It was illegal to celebrate Christmas. Okay? And the law carried a punishment of 5 shillings. Can you imagine having that type of a punishment? 5 shillings? And I think all of the shillings were back to back to back. It's like 5 shillings right in a row. See that? No one wants 5 shillings back to back to back. Here's what I'll tell you right now. Make today the best day of your life. Make today the best day of your life. You guys have got one of the greatest networkers in the industry in town, John Malott. You have got to pay attention. When John Malott gives you some marching orders, don't question it, don't debate it, don't discuss it, just do it. When I got, one of the guys I saw here earlier running around Timur, when he got started in the business, he just said, hey, look, you know what? I'm just going to do whatever John tells me to do. Why? Because I just knew, hey, look, you know what? We're going to win. We're going to win if we just follow the coaching and following the mentoring. You see how smart that is? Yeah. So guess what I've done as Santa Claus? I said, hey, look, you know what? I'm Santa Claus. I got to come learn from John Malott. So you're going to have that opportunity today. But here's what Jim Rohn said. He says, without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. Without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. We got to have a sense of urgency right now more than ever before. Right now more than ever before. We've got to have a sense of urgency. And here's what I'll tell you right now, is guess what? Make today the best day of your life. I have to travel roughly 317 million miles on Christmas Eve. That's no joke. Okay? That's no joke. Okay, and that's and in order to be able to make it happen, I've got to travel at 800 miles per second. Kidding me? That's no joke. For 31 straight hours without stopping to be able to deliver to all 156 million destinations. What? What are you doing? How many wild parties did you have last week? You see what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, guess what? We can all have some room for improvement. You see that? Here's what I want you to ask you is this. I need your help. I didn't come here today to share with you these leadership laws. John asked me, he said, hey, Santa, can you come share? I said, hey, look, you know what? For you, John, I'll do anything. But here's what I'll tell you. I also came here because as Santa Claus, I need your help. Okay? You guys don't know the numbers. My elves took a couple days off this year. They went down to Cabo. Everybody wants to go to Cabo. They were down in Cabo partying it up. Okay? They were at that little Lover's Beach right there by the El Arco. Right? They were hanging out at Billigan's Island, drinking some tall boys. And I tell you what, those elves, they made a couple poor decisions. And as a result of that, here in the North Pole, we ran out of, guess what? We ran out of some steam, okay, through that little window. And I don't know if Christmas is going to happen now. And I know that each and every one of us in this room, we don't want Christmas to, guess what, be canceled. So I need your help. How many of you are willing to help out Santa Claus and help out the entire world? Can we see? I need your help. I need your help. You've got to be saying, how can I help you, Santa Claus? How can I help you? How can I help you, Santa Claus, save Christmas? How can I help you, Santa Claus? I want to help Santa. I want to help you right now do something great. I'm going to tell you right now how you can help Santa. If you accept this mission and say, hey, I'm ready to help Santa. Here's what it looks like. Make sure that everybody knows, everybody that you know buys the Christmas gifts from you. If you go out there on Black Friday and promote like you do, guess what? If you can promote right now and take advantage of Black Friday, guess what can happen? You can be responsible for saving Christmas. Why? Because my elves went to Cabo and partied it up. And as a result, you can get a chance to be able to go to Cabo and party it up if you help me enough. So hey, this is it. You got to be able to say, I'm ready. I'm ready to step up. I'm ready to do something great. I'm ready to do something special. I'm ready to win big. And I'm telling you what, this is it. This is our time to do something great. We got some recognition that we're going to do. Then we're going to get a chance to get into hear from John Malott. But get ready right now. This is your chance to do something special. Step up and say, hey, I'm going to help. I'm going to help right now. Save Christmas right now more than ever before. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen right now like I've never made it happen before. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to promote Secret. So guess what? We can win big. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, obviously if you haven't got your tickets yet, today whenever we're done in the back, whenever you're picking up your free audios for everybody that fills out all the missing blanks, you're going to be able to get the opportunity to get that Bill Bailey audio. Bill Bailey's always on the good list, never on the naughty list. You're going to be able to get that audio in the back whenever you're picking up your audios. You're also going to be able to pick up your tickets, get your registration now. Everybody that does gets 2 free months off. This is ridiculous. Santa Eyebrows like, hey, look, you know, this is ridiculous. We got it happening right now. This is a no-brainer. So let's make it happen. And with that being said, put your hands together for the man that's always on the nice list. Never naughty. He's never naughty. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Aguado!
Silvers and above, please accompany me on stage. We do recognition real quick before Mr. John Malott takes a seat. Silvers and above, please. Silvers and above. Awesome. So we're going to go out and congratulate the following people over the last month that have gone out there and done some incredible things. So our first thing we're going to celebrate is our enroll 4. So if you got 4 customers last month, that means your next month's products are free, which means 0 overhead. And we have our newest bronze, Miss Blanca Cervantes. Miss Blanca Cervantes, come up to the stage. Newest bronze executive. Blanca Cervantes, and then hang out real quick. I want you to tell your story real fast. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Quick picture. All right, Ms. Blanca, just real quickly, just share with everybody where you're from and how you did it.
Well, I live in Linwood, California, and the only way I did this is doing it. I have a big dream, a real big dream. Change a lot of lives, a lot of women that they're like trying to do something in their lives, change their lifestyle, their kids. I mean, some of them, they have husbands, they're hard workers, and they have a lot of dreams, but they don't know how to do it. But we're gonna show them how to do it. How we're gonna do it? Secret is giving everybody all the tools to do it. You just have to do it. That's it.
Applause. Congratulations. Congratulations. Sure, Brian. Quick. Picture. Awesome. Round of applause to all of our silvers and above. Round of applause to all of our silvers and above. Okay, so I'm fired up for this last portion of today, which is the training from our guest speaker, the reason why we're all here this weekend. I mean, this gentleman doesn't need an introduction, but all I know is make sure you strap in right now. Get your mental track shoes on, prepare to take some notes. He walks fast, he talks fast, but everything he does is with impact, and it's with meaning, and it's with honesty.
There were so many people that said it wouldn't happen, that it couldn't happen. And there are all kinds of reasons, and of course, some of those reasons kept people from joining us back then. You know, people saying that, number one, the family that owns Secret, they've never done relationship marketing before, so there's no way they're going to get it off the ground. By the way, I was actually excited that the family had never done relationship marketing before. And I thought that was positive. I felt like they were going to do things a lot different, because the challenge is, as I was making a transition, I had met so many owners of these companies, and I caught on very quickly in most of these companies. It was a money game that was designed for the owners to get very, very wealthy. You know, very, very rich. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But the thing is, I don't want somebody getting rich off of my back. You know what I mean? I don't want somebody sitting, you know, in the ivory tower and not participating, not sharing the wealth, and not communicating, and not walking amongst the people type thing. You guys know what I'm talking about? And I saw so much of that where it was purely a money-driven deal. Now, here's the other challenge. If I'm going to bring real people to the table, if I'm going to do business, I'm going to do a business that I believe I would share with people I care about. You know, I would share it with my grandmother type thing. Now, I can't introduce my grandmother or people I really care about to people that only care about the money. Does that make sense? Yes. By the way, we have to be very careful in how we present this opportunity, because it's very easy for us to just talk money to people. But I can tell you, these days, people don't care about the money, or it's not like it used to be, where money is definitely a driver, there's no question about it. But we're so sick and tired of the person that is just money. You know what I'm talking about. We've seen the Bernie Madoffs. We've been bamboozled and taken advantage by so many people, and they deliver them. I get people all the time in this profession that hit me up and tell me, look, I have a better compensation plan than you have at Secret. You should come and look at my opportunity. Let me tell you something. That is a sure sign of an amateur to come to me or to any one of us based on a compensation plan. Because here's what I know for sure. You could be selling dog crap. You know, you could be selling dog crap and pay out 99% on your dog crap, which would make it a better compensation plan than we currently have in secret. But in the end, you're still selling dog crap. Does that make sense? So I hear people all the time, you know, with this money first approach. Matter of fact, one of the things I do all the time is I slow them down. I said, look, let me help you. When you're approaching me about, these people approach me about business opportunities, I said, let me help you become a better professional. Obviously, I'm not going to join your opportunity, but if you give me 5 to 10 minutes, I can give you some training on how not to be a jackass the next time you call somebody else. Because I'll tell you what people care about today. People care about purpose. People care about the future. We got more people concerned about the state of affairs in our society than we've ever had before. We look at what's happening in Paris, you know, right now, and we look what's happening around the globe. We look what's happening in the economy, what's happening in the environment. And what I do find is that today people have almost this interesting feeling or sense that we're heading in the wrong direction. We might not be able to put our finger on it necessarily, but how many people know what I'm talking about? This kind of, we almost sense that there's something wrong in the system. There's something wrong in the direction that we're heading. We can't always put our finger on it. We don't even know what to do, because what I find is we all want to change the world. How many want to change the world? We all want to change the world. And the biggest challenge we have is we got some people that want to change the world, but how they change the world is by talking crap about somebody else who they don't like the way they operate or what they do or the color of their skin or the beliefs that they have. And so we're trying to change other people to somehow change the world. And we're doing it by putting people down, not lifting people up. In fact, for the longest time, I had such a hard time with my spiritual walk because everybody around me was telling me I'm going to hell. Now look, you tell me I'm going to hell, I'm probably not going to hang out with you for very long. I'm not interested in what your beliefs are at this point. But when I had someone come in my life and told me I was going to heaven, I'm like, dang, what do you know that the rest of these cats don't know? We need to start hanging out. And it changed my spiritual walk. It was just a simple shift in how they communicated directly to me. And so we see all these things, and it's interesting because we all want to change the world. And I called out a long time ago, you know, we can't change the world necessarily today, but you know we can change. We can change our house. I can change inside of my household. I can change the programming that my children are getting. I can have an impact in their lives. I can focus more on empowering and equipping inside of my home. And maybe from my home, maybe we can change the neighborhood. And maybe if we can get the neighborhood, who knows, maybe the community starts to fall or starts to grow. And the community, you know, maybe the city, maybe the, I don't know, but I know that it starts with the individual. Reminds me of the story. Gentleman comes home from work, busy, hard day at work, and he was doing what he normally does. He goes and grabs his newspaper and he heads over to his easy recliner and he kicks back. And the challenge is he's got a young son. He's got the 6-year-old young son. And the 6-year-old doesn't understand Daddy had a hard day at work. What does the 6-year-old want to do? Play. That's all he play. And the 6-year-old is also very persistent. So Dad says, look, I don't want to play. I'm tired. Just leave me alone. I want to relax. Go away, son. So the kid goes away for a little while, but a 6-year-old, what's he going to do? A few minutes later, he was right back, pestering, pulling on him, saying, Daddy, I want to play. Dad says it again, look, son, I'm tired. It's been a long day at work. Go away. Leave me alone. Son goes away for a few minutes, comes back. Now, Dad figures out at this point he's going to have to do something differently, you know, to keep this kid preoccupied for a little while. So he goes over to his magazine rack and he finds this picture. He goes through his magazines. He rips out this picture. There was this picture of the world. He took this picture of the world and he ripped it in pieces, in small pieces. And he created like this little puzzle. He said, look, son, I want you to take these pictures and take this Scotch tape and I want you to put the world back together. I want it to look like how it looked when I tore it out of the magazine. So the young son goes over to the corner and he's putting the picture together and the dad thinks he's got it all figured out. Well, you know, what a brilliant move on his part. So he goes back to his recliner, grabs his newspaper, starts to read, and it was fast. And within a matter of minutes, this young son comes back with the picture put together perfectly. He's like, son, how did you do that? How did you put this picture together so quickly? The son turned the picture over. On the other side of the picture of the world was a picture of a man's face. He said, Daddy, when you put the man together, you put the world together. And you start to think about this. For all of us, it's the same thing. Put ourselves together. You know why we're not accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish? Because we're not put together. And sometimes we're so caught up in the reality of somebody else's situation that we're not focusing on our own reality. I was fortunate that over the years, I've been to a lot of amazing presentations. I was I was mentored by some of the greats. And one of my great mentors, a guy named Les Brown. You guys know who Les Brown is? Les Brown and I've been fortunate to share a stage. I got a chance to write a book with him called The Power of One. At one time, he wasn't my mentor. At one time, I'll tell people he was my mentor, but he's my mentor through audio programs, like cassette tapes I would listen to in my car over and over and over. And it's crazy what can happen, though, that somebody of that caliber, that one day didn't know him, at one point never thought I would know the guy. Now, I've been on vacation with him in Celebration, Florida. I got a chance to write the book, The Power. By the one, don't people ask me for the book. I can give you the book. It's the worst book ever written in the planet. I wouldn't encourage you to buy it on Amazon, or don't do that. Don't buy it. It's horrible. You'll be disappointed. But it was the first book I ever had a chance to participate in, but it was with my mentor, Les Brown. So what I'm saying is that what we started to do is we started to change the mindset. We started to change how we think, how we thought about things. We started to focus on taking responsibility, on creating a different life for ourselves. And that started to open up doors that weren't open before. Does that make sense? And just recently, I keep talking about, how many of you guys read the Tony Robbins event that just happened? Was that amazing? I'd encourage you to 4-day. Now, I got slapped around so hard in that room, that I realized that I haven't accomplished anything. But the potential that God gave all of us, that what's inside of us to become, I don't think there's anyone in this room that could raise their hand and look me in the eye and say that we're living up to that potential. We might be doing great things. We might even, excel in a particular area. Some of you have your spiritual walk so down, like you know it. You can quote some Bible verses or Quran verses like nobody's business, but you still couldn't tell me that you are living up to your potential in that area as well. Some of you have the children thing down. You raise kids better than the Dr. Spock dude who wrote the book on how to raise kids. You know what I'm saying? You got that thing down, but I can tell you for sure you couldn't look me in the eye and say that you are living up to the full potential God gave you. You guys get this? It doesn't matter. Business. How many people can look me in the eye and say that you are living up to your full potential inside a secret? But yet, you know what I hear from people? I'll hear the complaints about secret. I'll hear, well, customer service didn't do what they were supposed to do in the time that I thought they should have did it. I'll hear my sponsor isn't doing what he said he would do. I've heard people question the integrity of the people that brought him in the business. I'm like, look, number one, I never question the integrity of anybody, because first off, it's subject to interpretation. I've noticed in certain parts of the world, what they consider high integrity is different than what we consider high integrity. You guys know what I'm talking about? And by the way, my values are my values. They're designed for me and what I believe in. Now, I don't deviate from those values. The reason why we build a business the way we do, we build it on one simple principle called the truth, is because I have a certain set of principles that guide me every single day. So I never have to worry about how I'm going to operate on a day-to-day basis, because I know exactly who I am and whose I am. I know exactly how I'm going to operate because I have a set of guiding principles. Does that make sense? If somebody asks me to do something that falls outside of what I believe in as a person, the values that I believe in, I won't do it. Now, that's not everybody. I understand. Some people just say, if there's dollars involved, whatever my principles were yesterday, today, check that because I can make some money. I do understand it almost seems unfair to see people that come up and make big money, and it seems like they're doing harm rather than good, but we all know this for a fact. Just like it was in my neighborhood. There was a consumer and there was a capitalist. And we would watch these capitalists come up and drive the big fancy cars, and it seemed like they were running things, all this money, but everybody around us knows it's short term. That getting it the wrong way, because it's service to many that leads to greatness. It's helping enough other people get what they want, and you'll get what you want. I'm not talking about in my neighborhood, they were helping us get what we thought we wanted, but it was destructive to the neighborhood we believed in and we lived in. Does that make sense? Yes. And I'm telling you, the only way to long-term wealth, the only way to generational wealth is to build something that's based on other people. To build something that's focused on, that's other person's focus, that's focused on principles and guidelines that you believe in, that other people that are around you believe the same way, potentially, without us trying to force it on them. Is this too much, guys? So I'm setting the stage because I went to this Tony Robbins event, and I've been for a long time, I've been trying to figure out what is it that I'm doing that's keeping people from being where they could be. There's got to be something. As a leader, you have to take responsibility. When I hear an organization complaining about a particular thing, then I realize, okay, I got to check myself. I got to say, okay, they're complaining. First off, we obviously didn't teach a very simple principle that good news goes down and everywhere, and bad news only goes up. Somewhere along the line, we forgot that we started thinking that the private, can, or the general can go complain to the private. How many people know in the military that just doesn't happen? The general's not going to the private with the bad news. It's not going down. He's taking it where it belongs, where a solution can happen. I see people taking their problems, the people that can't handle their solution, that can't provide a solution, can't even handle the problem yet because it's new. I see us taking brand new people. Who in this room is in secret and has been here less than 2 months? Have been in secret for less than 2 months? Raise your hand. What is your name, sir? Anthony? So let's say I take Anthony. Anthony, how long have you been in the business? About 3 weeks. So Anthony's very, very new. So watch what happens, Anthony. And I'm going to warn you. I'm going to give you a warning up front. By the way, is this your sponsor? You got one of the best in the business, one of the most committed powerhouses in the business. Young guns, these young guns out of the Billionaires Boys Club you guys got going on in California, second to none. The power that these young people, what they possess, what they can be, when you start to think about to get these principles down now, be done by 25, be done by 26. I'm saying you're not going to be done forever, but financially, not have to worry about the financial side. Imagine this. So you're with a powerhouse. But Anthony, what will happen is, there are other people in this room that don't have the same commitment, that don't have the same enthusiasm. There's other people that have been complaining, and some of our veterans that have been around a while. They're complaining because maybe they're not where they think they're supposed to be based on their thinking, not based on the reality of the activity they've been doing, not based on the reality of the opportunity that we're part of, but based on what they think. Because some people think that hard work equals big paychecks. This is a huge mistake in our society. So we got a lot of people that will complain inside secret because they know they're doing hard work. They're out there working. They're doing these wild parties. They're doing sit-downs. They're pampering people like crazy, putting mud on people's faces. They're out there doing all this stuff. And they see all this hard work they did, and then they get their check, and they're disappointed because the check in their mind doesn't equal the hard work that they put in. But this is not the reality of our society. Do you think Bill Gates was the richest man in the world because he worked any harder than you and I? No, he worked hard, there's no question, but I'll tell you what, he had the same 24 hours that we have in his day to create what he created, so there had to be something more than hard work that got into the picture. And I can give you a whole bunch of things, and we're going to go into some of that, of course, leverage, doing the right leverage activity, being relevant. There's a whole lot of things I'm going to share that with you. But so here's what happens, Anthony. You come in, you're excited. Are you excited about Secret? Have you experienced the products, Anthony? You've experienced the products. What do you think about our products? And you got to act like Antonio Banderas or something. It's like, if Rico Suave can't build Secret, I don't know who can. But you see, he lit up. You see what happened? He's 3 weeks in the business. We started talking about Secret. The first thing he did, he smiled. He started talking about the products. I didn't need to be convinced. He lit up. Now, I talked to some of the veterans. I asked about Secret. You know what they do? They end up with what I had when I was young. I had what my mentors called the too cool disease. And my mentor said, he said, look, as long as you got the too cool disease, you're going to end the way most people with the too cool disease ends up, and that's broke. And it was already a problem because I was already broke. My friends were broker. If I kept going, I was about to be the broke-est. And so I had to make changes. I had to make the change. So I meet you, Anthony. The first thing you light up, and I talk to some of the veterans like, check and fluff, Black Friday. You ever see people with a hole in their face? Right? I'm like, dude, this is... Anyhow, all of a sudden, some of these veterans that are in here, they take you outside the room and say, they plant little seeds. They plant little seeds. They're in the business and start poisoning the very stream that they have to drink out of, which is crazy to me. But then I start thinking about it. We do it all the time in our society anyhow. Think about it. They say we got, 70% of the world is water, maybe more than that, whatever the statistic is. I haven't done all the research on that particular part, but there's a lot of water on this planet. There's a lot of it. But what I do know for a fact is that less than 1% of it is available for us to drink. There's a lot of reasons for that, but one of the things I've discovered is that they say that fish is healthy. How many people know that fish is healthy? They say fish is pretty healthy, but not anymore. It's not healthy. Why is it not healthy anymore? Because of mercury. Who put the damn mercury into the fish? We did. The very people that have to eat from that system are the very people that poison the system to begin with. And somebody said stupid. I didn't say that, but somebody said that. And this is what we do inside of our own business. The business that we came in gung-ho, lighters out, down with some secret. I'm down with secret. You get a little obstacle, a little challenge. Something doesn't go quite the way you think it should go. And now all of a sudden the company sucks. Your sponsor sucks. The Santa Claus sucks. Pick whoever. You guys with me? And so Anthony, I'm talking to you because I'm going to give you the flu shot. I'm going to inoculate you right now. Stay away from the veterans. Find the people that have what you want. Find the people that have what you want. Find out what they did to get that thing. And then do exactly what they did. And here's the toughest part for all of us. Do it until you have it, Anthony. Until you have it. Because let me ask you a question, Anthony. If another man can do it, another woman can do it, can you do it? Of course you can. Does anybody get this? And yet I see people making excuse after excuse. And I can't. I was doing the same thing. That's why it took me 7 years to crack $100,000 in a profession that anybody can come in here on just sheer will make $100,000. We're seeing people come in here. Josh Wild pumped. But young cat comes in here in 6 months, broke all the records that I held at one point. You guys with me? And he did it because he believed. He came in with a set of enthusiasm, with an energy, and he came in and he drove, didn't listen to anybody. Everybody said you can't do it. Former police officers didn't have all the stuff you're supposed to have. You guys know he sponsored you guys. And he came in with this enthusiasm and fire, and he blocked all the noise out. By the way, there's a book called Think and Grow Rich. Anybody ever read the book Think and Grow Rich? The book didn't say get a job and grow rich. I'm not knocking employment, but it didn't say get a job and grow rich. It didn't say work hard and grow rich. It said think and grow rich. And Napoleon Hill was commissioned by Carnegie to write this book. And what was the premise of the book? Here's what it was all about. Carnegie said, I want you to write this book, take as long as it's necessary. How many people know it took 20 years to write the book, by the way? And the whole deal with him writing the book was, I want to know, why is it that so many have so little and so few have so much? Now this was during the Industrial Revolution, the great industrial barons from Carnegie, the Ford was coming up, the Rockefellers, the JP, these guys, these amazing entrepreneurs that built in a lifetime the type of wealth that most people would never see in lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And he goes, then it took 20 years to write this book, and in that book he comes up with the 13 things. There was 13 things he said that tied these people together. 13 characteristics that tied these people together. How many people would like to know what those 13 things are? Yeah. Read the book. But I will tell you what he said, the number one reason why most of us fail. Well, the number one reason most of us live these lives of quiet desperation, why we never get what we have the potential to get, to become, to do. He said the number one reason, he says, because we listen to family and friends. The people we care about the most, the people that love us the most, are the ones that keep us from being and becoming what we could. How many know what I'm talking about? Yeah. As soon as you brought Secret home one day, they ain't never even heard of Secret. Next thing you know, they're getting the name wrong. They're saying Seacrest. Yeah. Hey, he's doing that Seacrest. Don't do Seacrest. People fail at Seacrest. If you mention Isaac Benchabat, they're like Benchabang. They can't get the name right. And they're telling you how you're going to fail. Because based on what they know about you, you might have hung from the chandelier at that party only one time naked, and now everybody knows you're at the naked chandelier hanging. Right? No one can. They can't. They'd be like, your mother changed your diaper. The respect is different. You guys with me? And by the way, your mom loves you. She doesn't want you to fail, just like she didn't want you to, ride your bike down those stairs, because you could get hurt. Right? She's heard that people fail in business, people get hurt in business. You guys know this. Does your mom or someone care about you? Do they want you to get hurt in business? No. No, there's other people that don't want you to do business because they don't want you to separate from them. There's a lot of other reasons. But I'm telling you, the number one reason people don't get what they could get is because they listen to other people. They said Henry Ford was such a whack job. Dude didn't even make it to the 7th grade. But they said, you know what his claim to fame was? He didn't care what you thought about him. They said, whatever you, like Les Brown said to me one time, he said, whatever other people think about me is none of my spiritual business. That's on them. If they want to carry that baggage around, I'm not going to carry it around with them. I'm not going to buy into what they believe about me. You guys see? So Henry Ford had this crazy ability to block it all out. And you guys know when he launched the Ford company, he made the Model T. What did he say? He said, you can have any color Model T you want as long as it's black. He made the rules and changed, and look, people will be buying Fords when I'm gone. You guys with me? Yeah. Created a generational company, did not give a what other people thought about it. Now what if we started thinking about that? I had a mentor that said, look, why do you care so much? Because I cared so much about what other people thought about me. I did it one time. And he said to me, he said, listen, most of these people wouldn't even show up to your funeral. Wow. And if they did come, they probably, about half of them would cry. And then, if it rained, the other half wouldn't even go from wherever the funeral was to where the burial is if it rained. So I'm concerned what you think about me, and you probably wouldn't even show up to my funeral. And if it rained, for sure you ain't even coming. And I'm concerned. And I'm telling you, the most freeing thing that ever happened to me is when I finally dropped it. I said, you know what, I could care less. My zipper could be open, I could have green stuff on my teeth, I could be drooling on myself, I could care less, I could fall down. It makes no difference to me anymore, because I love everybody, but it's not about you. I realized that if I'm going to change the Malott family tree, it was going to be 100% about me. In the end, they weren't going to say the reason John Malott didn't make it was because of other people. They're going to say the reason John Malott didn't make it is because of himself. The reason why that family... Look, nobody graduated from college inside of my family. And I made a decision... I was going to graduate. That still wasn't going to happen in mine. But I said I'm going to create some kids that will be the first ones to go to college. Not because college is a prerequisite for success. I think we make a mistake in leading people to believe that college is a prerequisite for success. Because how many people do you know that have college degrees, but they're not fulfilled? They're not happy. They're not satisfied. Everybody in this room will raise their hand. So I started telling my children, you go to college because it's about networking. You go to look, if I had known they partied that much in college, I would have went to some college. I didn't know. I said, you go and have some fun. Go party. Go build relationships. You go there to prove that you have the discipline to complete a process. That's what that degree represents. I don't care what the degree is in. Go there, basket weave, and do whatever you got to do, but go there and prove that you have the commitment, just like people in the military I respect so much, because they prove that they have the discipline, the commitment to complete a process. Today, we're not teaching people to have the discipline and commitment to complete a process. We're saying, oh, you stubbed your toe, you hurt your knee, you scraped yourself, you should quit. And then we go and sue, whoever put on the whatever it was you did, right? And we blame everybody else. And then we say, now we're taking winning out of school. We've already took God out, and that's a whole other topic. But now there's no such thing as one person has excelled over another person. Look, there's people that have excelled because they saw somebody else excel. They said, I want to do that. And they were inspired by other people. Now it's like we all got to be even. We all get the first place prize, even though we didn't do what we were supposed to do to get the first place prize. Now this might be too much today, but it's something for us to think about. Am I right? And when I started to look at what does it take? What was it? We get in front of these rooms all the time. You know what we tell people? Do the activity. How many people heard that? By the way, I'm going to tell you this for sure, that the activity is critical. We say it all the time. Do the activity, do the activity, do the activity. By the way, I'll tell you the results aren't that important. Because if you do the activity, the results come automatically. If you train enough in the gym over a period of time, the results will be there. Would you agree? I remember, and for some people, to train like they would have to have the health or the body, whatever they're trying to get in health and fitness, we don't do it. Because what we caught on to, like me, I had one of those men's health magazines. You ever see those men's health? My body was on the front cover of a men's health magazine. That wasn't my head, but it was definitely my body on my front cover. I was inspired. I got inspired. I said, this is going to be me. This is going to be me. Then I went to the gym. You know it takes some work. I got to the gym and it was a lot of work. It was even a little painful the next couple of days. I realized that the discipline and commitment necessary to have that dude's body was not going to happen in my life. You guys with me? So I gave up on that whole thing. Now, why I say this is because some people say, I want to make all this money. I want to do this. I want to free my family. God, look, freedom is not free. You go back to history. Let's not to get free, but the price that people have paid with their lives for freedom. Freedom is not free. What we build in secret is freedom-type money. To get it is not free. To make it happen is not simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. You guys with me? It'd be the most rewarding thing you'll ever do if you can set yourself free, but more important than setting yourself free, set someone else free. I read Harriet Tubman one time said, she said, I would have freed more slaves had they only known they were slaves. Think about, how do you not know you were a slave? And what she was saying was that look, anybody ever seen a movie called 12 Years a Slave? Oh my God. I was shot for 2 days because I couldn't function properly. You got to be prepared if you watch that movie to be prepared to be shut down for a while. But in the movie 12 Years Later, it was interesting that Jim Rome says, take me to a movie, make me laugh, make me cry, but do not let me leave the same. This is a movie that impacted me tremendously, amongst many other movies in that same category, because freedom is what I believe we're doing more than anything else. You can make money anywhere, but you can't set people free anywhere. You can't get freedom duplicating anywhere. But in that movie, what we caught on to very quickly was that the people that were born into slavery had a completely different mentality than someone who was forced into slavery. I'm not going to give you the whole movie, I'm telling you to go watch the movie, but what was crazy about it is that the person who was forced into slavery every single day of his life for the next 12 years was about not being a slave again. Everything. And there were people all around him that did exactly what they're told, when they were told. You guys with me? They were born into that, and they were going to breed another generation, and it would have carried on forever if there weren't a bunch of people that were forced into something they shouldn't have been forced into in the first place. Now, some of you have had a taste of freedom because you've been in these rooms before. I'm talking about different type of freedom. You guys with me? I'm talking about the ability to free our families for generations, to be able to tell your kids on Tuesday you're heading to Disneyland. Well, you guys live near Disneyland. I don't know. You're heading. It's not if you're in the Midwest and you told Tuesday you're going on Thursday, that would be a big deal. But here it's not. Anyway, just forget that. Anyhow, what's happened to some of you, part of your frustration, and then we'll sometimes translate that frustration into a problem with secret, a problem with the opportunity, but not what it really is, and I'm going to get into that in a second. The problem is that you've had a taste of freedom. You've seen some of the freedom walkers inside a secret. You've seen the potential. You've experienced it. You've seen the stories. You've been out with someone. You know that it's possible. So every day you willingly get on that freeway and walk into that office and are willing, you put out your hands to be shackled. It's frustrating. Does that make sense? See, here's the bigger challenge though. Once you've had a taste of freedom, once you get a taste of it, it's very hard to willingly be shackled again. And then you fight every single day. You do exactly what you say, but some people don't even